indeed. Let's get this day started. This has definitely been a week. Let me fill you in. So, come on with me now this time. Excuse the shakiness of the camera. Obviously, I'm in the car and I'm heading over to go for a quick walk. I got to get my exercise on. Okay. But anyway, this week started out very good. Like, I am very happy to be able to say that. I started out Sunday before work. I wanted to do like a full reset, so I took this car out. I got a chance to see the city. I drove over the Mississippi, and when I say, like, looking at the city early in the morning while things are still calm and relaxed, like, it is a different atmosphere. But it honestly, it allowed me to refocus. It allowed me to refresh. And I don't know, like, the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. The sun was barely out. It was perfect. I cannot say anything else other than that. And I was flying high, and I was just like, I'm going into next week. I don't care what happens. I don't care what nobody says. Like, I'm ready. Got home and put the cover and everything back on the car, and got a hospital bill from an accident that we were in not even 12 months ago. And I mean a huge hospital bill. I don't even know how or why. And I was immediately starting to get frustrated. Oh my gosh. Like, I was like, I don't understand, because the car insurance company, they paid out a portion. My health insurance paid out a portion. And still you want to send me a bill for over $4,000? And then you talk about a $200 a month payment plan. What the hell? And it's due next month. It was like in the 2 weeks. Well, actually, so I got it this past week, or at the beginning of this week, and it's due in 2 weeks. So I was just like, this is not making sense to, like, make it make sense. What the hell? But it definitely, it took me off my pedestal. It took me off. But hey, I digress. I had my shot of whiskey and definitely kind of just rolled on. I was like, but I got up Monday morning. I was going to be very determined to, to make sure that what happened, that Sunday didn't fully carry over. And so I was being very, very determined to do that. So I got up, did my meditation, got a chance to work from home Monday, and still going in through my performance reviews and evaluations of my team. Like, Monday, Tuesday, going through all of that and having to sit down and go over the evaluations of people. When I say, it still baffles me how we love to highlight all of the positive things that we've done, but we don't always like to incorporate those areas of opportunities. Like, that's bias. That is a blind spot for you. And I'm just like, I don't understand. And I'm a leader that I have consistent weekly and sometimes bi-weekly touch bases, like one-on-ones. So you can see where you're struggling. You can see where we're going. And I'm showing you, I'm telling you, I'm giving you points of opportunity. And I'm giving you the tools that you need to reach that next goal, to get back on track. Now, at the end of the day, it's on you to actually perform those tasks. And if you don't, that following week, we're talking about it. And so I am very detailed. I recap all of my conversations, and thankfully I have Copilot now. But Copilot gives me a full summary. It lets me know what has happened and details. And so I'm like, I go through all of that, and then I assign meets expectations, needs improvement, exceeds expectations based off of all of these recaps. And then you're surprised. At the end of the year, I'm confused. It baffles me. It baffles me. Even sitting with my manager and talking about my own performance review, I was like, I still rated myself as meet expectations. I've done quite a bit And I'm proud of what I've done. I've notated all the things that I've done. I've excelled in so many different areas and the goals that were set for me. And I still was just like, I met expectations because in my mind, that's what I did. But then when my manager sat down with me, was just like, yeah, but Jimmy, you did all of this. And your full team, with the exception of one person, is remote. Like, all of your teams are here in this state with me. You are remote all the way over there. That's when it triggered me, right? But she had to call that out. But my mind was, I did what I was supposed to do. And so it was weird. It just, again, it really baffled me how so many people on the team, like, they feel like they've done much better than they actually did. And then when I'm laying out the facts, and I'm just like, well, this week, this is what you did. You were on this trajectory. You were on this high. But then this week, you dipped down. And then this week, you dipped down a little bit further. And then you dipped down this. And I'm just like, and these are the things that you've done to dip down. And so I just, again, to not turn this into a rant, I was definitely feeling a little frustrated. And then I woke up the next day, midweek, feeling kind of, kind of exhausted, like slightly, exhausted is the best way I could put it. Not feeling my best. And so I'm like, I woke up not feeling my best. And when that normally happens, I won't call in, but I'll stay home because I don't want that energy to pass off to my team. And like, I'm very conscious of that. And so I was just like, but I felt like I could push myself through it. I was like, oh, I can get another cup of coffee and I'll be okay. Well, that didn't quite happen. And so I was sitting there and I'm going through all of the things and the different reports, and I'm going through what the team has said or is done or have not done. And I was just like, I'm finding mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, like from various people. I'm just like, what the heck? Is something in the water? Like, what is going on? And so then I'm stuck there trying to decipher, like, is this me? Is it because I'm in a bad mood that I'm finding all of these things? Like, or like, what the hell? Like, what, were they always there and I just never pointed them out? And so I'm like, I found myself midweek going back and forth between, is this a true mistake? Is this a true error that needs to be corrected in this moment? Is this room for them to improve? Or am I just having, like, am I in a bitchy mood? And I just, honestly, I kid you guys not, I sent out probably 7 to 10 emails before they hit me. And I said, let me stop. If I find any more, it's going to have to wait until tomorrow. Because at this point, it's frustrated me just the mere fact of me finding these things. And I am very grateful that I have self-awareness to be able to discern that. Because I don't want my team to be frustrated. I don't want them to feel my wrath. I don't want them to I don't want them to feel if I'm angry or frustrated or upset. If I have something to say to them that I need them to correct, then I need to be able to explain that to them in a healthy way. And so, like, I'm very self-aware of that to know. And so I was like, midday Wednesday, I know damn well I just stopped. So if you were on my team and you made a mistake on Wednesday afternoon, honey, I didn't say a word to you. I didn't say a word because we had enough at that point. And so, but yeah, next thing I know, I get, again, trying to get myself together midweek. It did not quite do so. The end of the week, things started to shape up a little bit differently. I got pulled aside, found out that we have new leaders coming in town, or new leaders that have been hired. And on one hand, it's great because it's a new perspective. They get a chance to come in and see some areas that we can improve upon. But also the reality of that is they're most likely going to come in and, you don't know what to expect. They could come in wanting to change everything. They could come in and wanting to change nothing. Again, you really don't know what to expect. It's kind of up in the air. But because this new person is coming in and they're flying into where the bulk of my team are located, I'm being approved to fly in as well. So that I'll get a chance to meet this new leader. Also, this will be my first time meeting most of my team in person. We only have met virtually. So there's, a little bit of anxiety there, not in a bad way, but just like I'm younger than most of them. Also, they're used to seeing me and a professional setting where we're on Zoom calls or we're on Teams calls where I'm typically high energy. I'm highly focused. I have an agenda and I move on. Versus the one person that is on site with me, she gets a chance to see me in a different aspect. Because she's on site with me, she gets to see me interact with other people. She gets to see me on the call. She gets to see me come over to her desk to straighten up her behavior. So she gets to see me correct her real time. Versus some of the other team members, they've only seen me to do that virtually, right? And so, yeah, this is all going to be interesting for all of us. It's going to be an interesting perspective, but I can't wait to see how this all shapes out. But it got me to really thinking about how this new person is going to perceive me, right? How my perception and my reputation that I already have, how it's going to show up and if it's going to carry me. And so, again, all of that popped in my mind. And because I've made a drastic decision in my career to shift focus, changing careers mid-track, where I legitimately originally stepped down as a manager, to later be promoted as a supervisor in another department. But it got me to thinking about my true path and like what I really want. And so something hit me toward the very end of this week, and I'm shocked that it did. But talking to chat and kind of going through my week, having the good and the bad, having the not so good days, having misalignment with leadership, meetings that are last minute, things that are unorganized, me and a couple of people stepping in to try to fix things at the last minute. Like, all of these things are starting to come up. And I'm like really thinking about what I want to do. And chat said something to me, and it just really brought me to a new profound way of thinking. Is when I go into these rooms, I have to just remember that this is just simply another room that I'm walking through on my way out. Whether I stay with the organization, whether I stay with the department, whether I start my own, whether I move to a new city, whatever. This is just another room that I'm walking through on my way out. Because at the end of the day, like, my dreams, my goals are much bigger than where I am right now. And so that definitely, it carried me through the week. And it's not in a quiet quitting type way. It's not in a shutdown, I'm going to completely disregard all of my obligations. Because at the end of the day, me as a leader, that's not who I am. Like, I have integrity. They pay me to do a job, and so I do that job. And so I never, ever will see myself, and not to mention, I'm leading people at the end of the day. And so not to say that their careers or their lives are in my hands, but at the end of the day, I'm going to show up with integrity. I'm going to show up and build systems and put things in place so that even if I'm not here anymore, they're able to still be successful in my absence. And so that would never give me the authorization to check out my integrity and who I am as a person. Just won't simply allow that. But it was a reality check. At the end of the day, this is just simply another room that I'm walking through on my way out. And I'm okay with that. And so I'm going to show up when I meet this new leader, when I meet my team. I'm going to show up and be authentic. I'm going to be myself, like, in every aspect of the word. And I have no intentions on hiding any of that. And so this week has been up and down, but I guarantee you, I'm leaving it. I'm coming out of it a hell of a lot much better than where I started, despite that bill from the hospital. I'm gonna get through this, and it's okay. Anyway, thank you guys for taking this drive with me, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, as always, I guess I too am still becoming. See you guys.